Good morning.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Uh,
You're alive.
I'm alive
Doing the video.
doing the video, and that's about all we can say about the Panthers right now is this they're alive. Um, I'm gonna turn this over to you. I said a lot last night in my recap. All I can say right now in this second is I'm just in disbelief that we are 3 games in and having these discussions. So
Well, I watched your recap as I always do. And, you know, it's, it's, it's not like we didn't kind of sort of predict this stuff if things weren't changed.
right.
I just got so angry because I thought we actually played really good during that first period. In fact, I was texting you, we came out strong.
Yeah.
I always say to get out to a quick start.
Yep.
Huberto scores on a blistering top shelf corner, 2 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. You can't ask for anything better.
Exactly.
Bob makes a couple of fantastic saves. Okay, so we're kind of taking, we're taking it to Washington.
Mhm.
And we're doing what we should do. Okay, we get a couple of bad calls against us, then they finally call one against them. Our anemic power play does nothing.
Right.
The power play is winding down. There's a minute left in the period. Okay. Our favorite, let's just say our
The guy. We'll just call him the guy.
the guy whose name we won't mention.
I can't even say his name
Instead
anymore.
of being, I think he's got the hockey IQ of a P. Because instead of just, being at the Caps blue line and dumping it deep, knowing that there was only 8-9 seconds left in our power play,
Right.
he decides to stick handle, not knowing that there's nobody behind him in case he loses it. And what
Right.
happens? He loses it. They go down and score. So instead of going into the intermission up 1 with momentum, we're now tied 1-1. The crowd's back in the game. I'm sure that conversation in the Caps locker room was like, we got these guys, man. We just, come out in the second period and blah, 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 blah. Do what we did in game 1, shut them down. Samsonov made some really great saves. I mean, it's just amazing how, he was a brick wall after that first goal, which,
Right.
He should have had. And, there's another mistake made and they score and they score again. And, basically,
Well,
we shut down. We just, I think what happened was the goalie was making so many, Barkov, we'll get to that. Bennett, I can't begin. We're looking at probably, what did you say, 7, 8 really good saves that he made where they should have been goals. So I think there was some frustration in there. And then what have I said in the last couple of videos? The grade 8 is the Russian bear.
Right.
And he was kind of hibernating and I was just waiting for him to wake up.
Yep.
And that's what happened yesterday. The bear woke up and burned us. Ovechkin has scored more goals against us in his illustrious career than any other team. He is the quintessential Panther killer.
Yep.
And he's it's going. I'm hoping he breaks Gretzky's record because I do love the guy. I think he's just a great player, and obviously, if he does, he's going to go down as the best goal scorer, if not, one.
Right.
Anyway, so there's nothing else to say about like the third period. The game was over at that point in time.
Well, and that's the thing that is depressing and disappointing, and because all year
it's not depressing and disappointing.
Hold on, let me get
it's Anger and frustration.
No, you're not. Let me get
All
it
right, go
out.
ahead.
Let me get it
I'm
out.
still, listen, just disclaimer here, guys. I would have done that video, this video recap,
Right. Oh, I told him. Yeah.
an hour after the game, because I still have not gotten over Mackenzie Weegar
Right.
losing the game for us again, and Andrew Burnett, okay, not making the necessary changes to
Right.
change things. Okay.
So, well, all I was saying
Yes.
is that all year long, 2-1, 3-1, we get down, and these guys turn on the Jets, have confidence, come back and win. And game 1, soon as we got behind, game 3, soon as we got behind, these guys folded their tails and went home. Did whatever the hell went on during the regular season, well, it ain't happening now. And I understand playoffs are tougher, tighter. Washington's a good team. They're playing differently. But that still shouldn't affect the effort level. And that's the part that is depressing for me, is after complaining about effort level against the Islanders and the Lightning, where it was intermittent. We're losing in the exact same manner again. And at the end of last year's Tampa Bay series, I was screaming about how Barkov was uninvolved and is this fixable, et cetera, et cetera. And is this fixable? That's the question.
Everything's fixable. It's a question of who's going to fix it. Okay.
Right.
I'm shaking my head because it's frustrating when you kind of see the situation better than maybe the coach. We've been talking about, I think we've done how many videos? Like we've done a video for every game. And now playoffs. So what do you think? Yeah. Maybe 90 videos?
Maybe 90 videos this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think we missed one video where we said split Ekblad and Weegar is not a first pair defenseman? No, that we put Forsling up there, or even put Forsling with Weegar because they played really good last year when Ekblad put Sherratt up there. Like, did we get Sherratt to be a third pair?
Right.
It's time. I mean, Weegar has cost us 2 games. I am sorry. No, those that have been defending him, guy, you can't defend him anymore. Okay. His 2 mistakes, actually, there was more than 2, but let's just say, the 2 in the first game, which was the delay a game penalty, and then the other penalty that cost us a goal, and then the other thing was the stick handling, losing it, and then taking the penalty.
Right, and don't forget the third goal was Weegar having the puck in deep in our zone and having they stole it away from him.
Yeah, well, that was in yesterday's game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So yesterday,
yeah. So there were 2 like that, but actually that one where that guy just out-muscled him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Weegar looked like a 5'7", 140-pound weakling. I mean, he just got totally manhandled.
And that's where the coach has to step in. He's clearly struggling. Do I think he's going to consistently play this poorly? No, but he's obviously struggling out there, and it's now on Brunette to put somebody else in there that's going to settle things down.
And that's what makes me more angry than his fuck ups, because every player is going to F up. We know that. Right. I mean, unfortunately for him, it's been consistent.
Right.
But the fact that this coach doesn't make a change, maybe to take some of the pressure off him.
Right.
Because, being on the top pair is, a lot of pressure.
It
I mean,
usually
trying
is.
to shut down Alex Ovechkin is a
Right.
lot of pressure.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, I put that on Brunette,
100%.
and he's
100%.
stubborn. And I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand where's Derek McKenzie?
Right.
Where are these guys telling him,
Right.
listen, I'm the defensive coach. I
Right.
think we should maybe switch out and put Sherrod up on the top, or Forsling.
Yeah. It just, so, I mean, like I said, at this point, and it's the third goal is the illustration. Uyghur's already struggling. Now Washington knows that, and they're going after him. So he gets the puck in the corner, and the defenseman knew this kid's struggling. I can go over here and outmuscle him for this puck and get it. And sure as shit, he did. And so that's where it starts to become, if coach is going to keep throwing him out there, this isn't the time to work out a slump. He's struggling.
And that's a good point, by the way. Something that really didn't come to mind, that Washington's aware that he's
Right.
struggling, and
Right.
they're just, it's like I guess it's like a free safety or cornerback in the NFL that,
Or if the
that-
goalie's
that-
groin is hurt, you know what I mean?
he's having a bad game and they just keep
Right.
throwing
Right.
the passes out there, beat him. So yeah, that's a good point. But anyway, I mean, obviously, if nothing's done about that, then we're stuck with
Right.
prayer, hoping that he doesn't screw up. Now, as far as
That's a good slogan. People were looking for slogans for next year's playoffs. I like that one. We're stuck with prayer.
time for Hunt, no, we're stuck with prayer.
Pray. Just one word, pray.
So here's my take on the Barkov situation, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and that was what could have been the tying goal, which should have been the tying goal,
Right.
that Barkov usually scores on,
Yeah.
and he gets snuffed.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention as much as you were, as far as his facial reaction and his slowness back to the bench,
Right.
ejection, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, Washington comes back, as happens many, many times when a goalie makes a terrific save.
Right.
The opposing team comes down and scores.
That scores.
But this was my one knock when he became captain. My one knock on him was that he wasn't going to be a fiery, rah-rah, sis boom bah captain.
Right. Right.
More like, Hornquist could be. That's the kind of captain you want, like
Yeah.
Ovechkin, like you
Yeah.
said, like Stamkos, like look at Connor McDavid.
Right.
I mean, Connor McDavid, every goal, he just,
Yeah.
the celly.
Right.
I mean, the
Yeah.
most we get out of Barkov is he raises his stick and maybe smirks a little bit, but
Right.
I mean, he's still a fantastic player.
Yeah.
And he makes things happen. And I don't know why he can't transition that into the playoffs.
Right.
But I do know, just like you pointed out in your recap, that the opposing team double teams him and just smacks him every time.
Right.
They just, when he's against the boards or
Yeah.
behind the net, whatever, they're just muscling him. They're just hitting him.
Yep.
That's the way to neutralize Sasha Barkov, and that's
Right.
just to keep hitting him.
Right. Right.
Punish him.
Yeah.
And they're punishing him. They're
Right.
punishing everybody, really.
Right.
I mean, I can't believe it. The fact that we're not taking advantage of the fact that Tom Wilson is not
Mhm.
on the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, if he comes back for the next game,
Right.
series is over.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, we could go down the list. I thought Hornquist always leaves his heart out on the ice.
Right.
Marchment, the same thing. I mean, Marchment got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
Every single time they were targeting him.
Yep.
Okay. I thought Achari had a solid game. Other than that, I mean, obviously, we had our chances. The goalie was really good. I mean, Samsonova, what can you say? All right, so we're down. We're not out. I never give up. I mean, I shouldn't say that. At 4-1,
Well,
I
yeah.
kind of knew this is not the team in the regular season
No,
that's coming back from 3 goals.
no.
I'm sorry. 1 goal, yeah. 3 goals, no. And that's because the Capitals, for like most of the half of the game, they were just happy to flip the puck out.
Yeah.
Every time there was some type of danger, they just got it out of the zone.
Yep.
They just kept on,
Right.
So we didn't, our game is speed, puck possession, defense to offense quickly, and with Washington clogging up the middle and basically, lining up their players at the blue line, we could do that. The only thing that we have is the dump and chase game.
Right.
And we are not winning the board battles. You pointed that out, in your recap.
Right. And that's
where we were, during the whole season, we were winning most of the board battles.
right.
And we're not winning them.
No, we're not. And I don't know, man.
The last thing I'll add is the playoffs are won by great goaltending. Okay. Special teams,
Oh,
not making stupid mistakes, not taking penalties. The key to the Panthers coming back is got to stay out of the box. Number one,
right.
can't be taken retaliatory. And that's one thing that really gets me. They called Bennett. Okay, there was a scrum behind the net. Bennett gets mugged.
Right.
He gets horse collared.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what does he do? He tries to get out of it, and they both fall to the ice. And he gets 2 minutes.
He gets the extra 2, yeah.
For tripping or whatever the
Right.
referee called. The refs gave a penalty to Duclair because Duclair, and I don't know what he was thinking.
Oh yeah, the shooting of the glove.
Lost his glove.
Yeah.
And Duclair decided to shoot the glove at the guy as he was skating away with the puck. I mean,
Right.
That's just like stupidity.
Yeah. That's
what
stupidity.
The fuck are you thinking,
Right.
Anthony Duclair?
Right.
You think maybe the ref would call a penalty on that? I mean, there's a lot of penalties that the Caps got away with. I mean, these scrums, man. If you're a Capital defenseman and you're punching somebody in the face, you should get 2 minutes for roughing. And they let so much stuff go. I mean, that whole thing with Bennett, the referee was right there.
Mhm.
Why doesn't the Capital player get 2 minutes for holding or horse collaring Bennett?
Right.
Why does Bennett get the extra 2? So
well, and even the player we're bitching about with Uyghur, the penalty, it's like we're bitching that. Let's be clear, we're bitching he didn't dump the puck in. What got called on him with holding the stick is the most miraculous hold. I didn't know that you could purposely reach out with your skate and hold the stick and get called for it. That I didn't realize Mackenzie Uyghur was that talented. So, I mean, the penalty was.
But you know what? But if he dumps the puck in, that doesn't happen. I mean,
I know.
Let's just say that. I mean,
Right.
Again,
No,
hockey IQ. That's why Mike Matheson.
Right. It's like
got at it. That's why he's not on the team anymore. And by the way, I never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. We don't have to go there. Let's just stick strictly Panthers. So anyway, again, those are the keys to coming back in this series. I mean, but it really irks me when they have these intermission interviews,
right,
where it's just such canned, responses, like Duclair and I think Ekblad in the second and third. I mean, it's
those I don't
spare me.
Right.
What they should be saying is, we need to come out and we need to take charge of this game, and we're not playing Panther hockey, blah blah blah. like the canned responses that I just I switch channels.
Yeah.
But anyway, you really can't fault Bob. I think Bob's been playing good. You know, I actually came to you, you know, somewhere towards the end of the game saying, you know, maybe Knight should go in for the, but you know what? Got to
Right.
ride Bob. This ain't last
You
year.
know, that's I wasn't on
But I
Bobrovsky.
kind of agree because, you know, what Billy said, you know, is kind of
Yeah.
ringing in my head. You know, it hasn't been Bob's fault.
No,
You
no.
know, obviously he might have let in a goal or two that, you know, he should have stopped. But for the most part, it's defensive mistakes.
Yeah. Right.
And it again, stupid penalties or penalties, whatever.
But we're just melting down. We're just absolutely melting down. I mean, Brunette said it after game one. We had a complete collapse, and we did it again yesterday. So that's 2 out of 3 games. The mentality of this team is just completely collapsed when they got down.
And it just boggles my mind because we never gave up or let down in the regular season games, other than the
Right.
you know the few games that we got just totally slaughtered. But getting back to the, you know, keys to winning playoff games is what are they gonna do about this power play? That looks like so bad. I thought getting Ekblad back was gonna be like,
Well,
you
they had it going good when Ekblad got hurt. And then we also got Giroux at the same time. And the insistence on forcing Giroux on power play 1, I would have just gone back to it, the 5 guys we had before we got Giroux and before Ekblad was hurt. That was the best setup that we had. They had chemistry. They were moving the puck around.
Yep.
Duclair was getting those one-timers. Troubadour was getting shots. It looked good. We went from near the bottom to near the top. We had a hell of a run.
Yep. Chemistry.
Right. And, you know, we talked about it before we got Giroux, where we thought, you know, Brunette might just get too many toys and not know what the hell to do with them. And that's the biggest thing I'm seeing is that it's I was thinking about this yesterday. It's so obvious why we're losing games that if you look on Twitter, people weren't even fighting over the reasons why, because everybody was right. Everybody's melting down, but the reasons why we're losing are so blatantly obvious that people weren't even fighting about it, but our coach won't make any changes. And that's scary.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yep. You know, it just, how many times can I say, you know, I've said this 1,000 times. Why not try Forsling QB in the power play? Why don't they try Montour Qing the power play?
Yeah.
Just mix, you know, go back to the power play before Giroux came on the team.
Right.
The one where, you know, because you're right, the power play was clicking before Ekblad got hurt.
Right.
It was starting to really click.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the Carolina-Boston game because I was thinking about, and I texted you while that game was going on, how unbelievable, how fast the Canes, to one guy, to the other guy, to the other guy, to the other guy.
Right.
Like the puck was moving around like this, like the defense doesn't know what to do because the puck is moving so fast amongst all these 5 guys.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing, guys?
Yeah.
Like they don't know where it's going.
Right.
Panthers are not doing that because they're thinking too much.
Yep.
They're like, who are we going to set up?
Right.
Now, there's 2 things you can do. You can either have plays already drawn up before you go out there to execute the power play, looking for a specific player to set up, or you just wing it and just keep moving it around.
Right.
I'm not so keen on, you know, having the puck go down deep, but obviously if it means drawing a defenseman away from in front of the net, I mean, you got a guy like Reinhardt who's got great hand-eye coordination. And you got Hornquist, who, maybe you move Hornquist back up to the first unit and you
Right.
shoot. You just keep shooting.
Just keep shooting.
You
Well,
just keep shooting. There's so many times that a puck gets deflected. Ekblad, case in point, look at
Right.
game 2.
yeah,
That Ekblad goal.
right.
Okay, it was tipped first, which caused the puck to bounce and flip, and it went in.
Right.
You don't score goals unless you shoot, and that's what's not happening on the power play. They're just
Right.
they're just
right,
looking
right.
for that perfect and from the angle, like they have Duclair in that on the right face-off dot, and I think he's far too low.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why Ovechkin and Stamkos score a lot of goals from their sweet
Right.
spot is they're, a little further out.
Right. Yeah.
And
Duclair's way too low.
that's another option. Why
Right.
not put Ekblad? I mean, how many goals did he score from that position?
Right.
That right-handed shot from that left face-off, for the
Right.
one-timer.
Right.
Move things around. They're not adjusting. And that's on the coach.
Right. That's
And this is where we both said, boy, I wish Quenneville was still with us.
yeah. Yeah. Because but the other thing is that, I mean, because I see different opinions. It's on the coaches, on the players. It's both. But Washington is illustrating the same thing that the Islanders did twice, the same thing that the Lightning did. You get physical with Barkov and Huberdeau. You just play smart defensive hockey, and you wait for somebody on defense of the Florida Panthers to make a mistake, and you put it in the back of the net. That's been the formula forever, and it ain't changed yet.
Right on. Right on.
At some point, it's amazing because we thought, well, Yandel's gone and Matheson is gone. And I hate to keep pounding the same thing with Uyghur. And just forgetting the fact that it's the same player most of the time. It's the same result. A defensive breakdown that didn't need to happen, and the puck's in the back of the net. And then, okay, that's happening. But when that happens, Barkov, Huberdeau, Bennett, Verhaeghe, these guys are not elevating their level of play to be a team and make up for that at the same time. So while this one thing does keep happening, you've seen Barkov's head. When I first saw it happen, because I watched, I'm like, why is he skating so slow? And they only showed a clip of it. And then they showed the full replay again. And I just isolated on Barkov. And what I realized happened was, I mean, he lowers, I mean, he's taking a second here too. I mean, he lowered his head, shrugged, and he just looks down the ice and he's watching the play develop. And he just does one of those lunges towards the bench and waves for a change and just really slowly went off the ice. And guys are waiting for him to get the hell to the bench so they can get down there. And before they could, the Washington scored. And when I saw that, we could bitch about Bob and Uyghur and Brunette and all of that. But if that's what we're dealing with, how are we fooling ourselves into thinking these guys are going to have what it takes? And I've only seen Barkov be this way in the playoffs. And unfortunately, he's the captain. So, I don't know what the hell Brunette could do about it. I don't know if he has any inclination to do anything about it at all. He probably didn't see the play, and nobody is going to make him aware That's the kind of shit I think Hugh would notice. But, a veteran coach might notice that. You know what I mean? I bet you the other team noticed it. And that's what it all comes back down to, is that come playoff time, all you got to do is be physical with these guys and they go soft.
Right. That's in, yeah. Well, yep. Yeah. The other coach, the Washington, whether it be the Islanders, Tampa, whatever, you're right. Same formula. They know how to neutralize us.
Right. Right.
Keep hitting the crap out of Batman and Robin and just, make them ineffective. Just getting back to the Uyghur thing. And this is, my final comment for today. Uyghur, just again, it's hockey IQ.
Right.
Compare Gustav Forsling and Mackenzie Weegar and how they approach the game. How many F-ups do you see Gustav Forsling make during a game?
Right.
Not many.
Not many.
If any.
Right.
He always seems to know what the right play is, whether it's getting to the blue line and dumping it in, or maybe seeing an opportunity and carrying it in. But he always takes the safe route.
Right.
If he thinks that there's going to be a potential problem, he takes the easy way out and dumps it in.
Right. Right.
Same thing in the D zone. He doesn't try to stick handle by, he just the job of the defense is to get the puck out.
Right.
Quickly.
Right.
Uyghur just, I don't know what's not clicking up there with him, especially after, as many times as he's made these mistakes, especially, during the regular season. I mean, obviously we saw it a lot. We commented on it a lot, but you can't do that in the playoffs because it not only could cost you a game, it costs you a series.
Yeah.
And right now we're in a deep hole. I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting nothing to be changed. And that's
right.
That's if we see that tomorrow, again, it's all we have left is prayer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what a good coach does. And that's why I think Bill Belichick was so great, all these years, because they could be down 14-0 going to halftime and then make adjustments, and all of a sudden they win the game 35-14. Good coaches.
He doesn't care about the name on the jersey.
Good coaches analyze and make changes, make adjustments. And I didn't see any adjustments other than, putting Giroux up with Barkov and Huberdeau.
Right, yeah.
He thinks that's going to be the answer.
Right.
It's not the answer. Right now, the problem is the defense.
Right.
Okay, I mean, the other defensemen were guilty also. On that TJ Oshie deflection, which was kind of fluky.
Right.
Ovechkin threw it in right from the blue line. Ekblad was a step behind Oshie.
Right.
I'm not saying, you take the guy down, but, he's in front of the net, not only to screen Bob, but he's in front of the net for, possible to find a way to neutralize that.
Right. Right. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Like I said, I still have not gotten over I'll just say I'm disgusted more than pissed off.
That's a good word.
Disgusted because
that's a good word.
We can play better than this. I mean,
right.
I don't even want to think about, watching the season swirl down the toilet bowl.
Right.
I mean, what was the whole season for? And
that's a whole nother subject, right? I mean, if these guys can't win a round, the team might look a little bit different.
But again, I will say this: we did come out and have a strong first period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we had the energy. We obviously got that most important first goal.
Right.
And I said within the first 5 minutes, set the table, take the crowd out, all that stuff.
Yep.
Until that mistake happened,
Right.
we were,
Yeah.
we were,
We
were
had it. Well,
cruising
that was the
along.
same thing as game one. Until that mistake happened, we had it. We had things under control. It was 2-1, third period, halfway through. We had our waves
Right.
of energy going. We had the puck.
Yeah, I forgot we had the lead in
We
that
had the
game.
lead when
Yeah.
that happened. Yeah.
So,
Two completely. It's rare when you can really point to one moment in a hockey game that completely flips it upside its head. And we've had that in game one and in game three, where the what was going on the ice completely just flipped in
flip.
an instant.
Exactly. Just flip completely.
Flip.
And one player is to blame for that.
Right. And even I'm tired of complaining about them.
I know, me too.
At this point, I'm just like,
Listen, you sit the player down.
you
sit the player down and say, "Look, I'm going to make a little
Right.
change here. Well, just a little adjustment.
yeah,
I'm going to move Sherrod up with Eki, and
Right.
I'm going to put you with Forsling. You guys worked out pretty good last year. Even
Right.
if he did that, I'd be happy.
right.
But for me, I whatever,
I know.
whatever, guys.
I know.
I've
Well, like I said, this is the last thing I'll say. I could understand it last year to an extent, but even then, we had Forsling, we had Montour. I don't know why they continue to insist on having Mackenzie Weegar handle the puck in the most pressure cooked times when he consistently makes mistakes in those exact moments.
and the player and the opposition is all over him.
And that's the
They
thing.
know now.
Right.
If they didn't know it before, and
Right.
maybe they did because they studied tapes, obviously from
Right.
the whole season. I would
Yep.
think they now know he's a weak link.
Right.
Just like they have the strategy to neutralize Barkov.
Yep.
They now know that you put pressure on Weegar or whatever, he's gonna F up somehow, some way. He's going to,
Right.
make a poor decision with the puck.
Yeah.
So that's what they have to
yep.
change. Game's not over. Listen, the series is not over.
Right.
Obviously, I
not.
don't want to think about us losing tomorrow, but it's like you said in the recap, we go down tomorrow.
Yeah. That's just
If
we win tomorrow, it's a 3-game series and we have 2 at home. All right. It ain't what we wanted, but it's what we got. But they've shown that they can play with this team. They've shown that they can take a lead, but they have not shown that they can handle any adversity so far this series.
What sucks? What sucks is we get the lead and we can't get that next goal.
Right.
We're letting them tie the game instead of having,
Right.
During the season, we kept coming and ended up having 2-goal leads, 3-goal leads.
Right,
And,
right.
The other team is faced with, the uphill challenge
Right.
of
Right.
coming back.
Yeah.
The crowd's taken out of the game for the most part, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But, Samson made some great saves,
No,
but
he did.
but we still have to find a way to score.
Right.
If one of those goals go in, and we got a 2-0 lead, okay, because we did score at 2
Right.
minutes and 45 seconds into the game,
Right.
and we played a really good first period. We just couldn't get that second goal.
Right. Right.
If it's 2-0, and then of course the mistake happens, and now then it's 2-1. We're still leading 2-1 going into intermission.
Yeah.
So,
It's just like rule number 1 for a defenseman should be, I can live with the fact that he had the puck behind our net and it got taken away because it's his job to have the puck behind our net. So if he got out muscled, Washington guy made a good play. All right. But when your defenseman is losing the puck at the offensive blue line, there's a problem. Dump the puck in.
not only that, Eric, the fact that he wasn't aware of everything else that was going on, the fact that he wasn't aware that there was nobody else behind him
Right.
to cover for him,
Right.
that's unacceptable fucking stupidity.
Yeah.
That's why I said he's got the hockey IQ of a P.
That's
Just
actually, so yeah, that's this year's playoff slogan. What was that? Unacceptable fucking stupidity. I know you don't like it when I laugh about it, but I got no choice.
I mean,
I know. We have to start becoming a slightly bit mentally prepared. All right. You know, just
seriously, I mean, the thing is,
I know.
now, what do you think's going on in his head right now?
Well, that's just it. You can tell he's
okay.
pressing.
You think his confidence,
Right.
his confidence is probably like, way down there. Like, boy, man, I better not make. And every time he touches the puck now, he's got to like worry that he's going to cost his team. He knows he's cost us the 2 games.
Right.
I mean, he's human. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. At this point,
I do.
I know. I genuinely, yeah.
But he's got to be thinking, man, I cost my team 2 games.
2 games.
And if he doesn't think that, then there's something wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway,
all right.
that's all I got.
That's all I got to. Could we?
That's all
I would like you. You mentioned prayer. Could we all pray that not just for a win Monday, but please, dear God, please, could you just let Mackenzie Weegar have 1 errorless game so that we can shut the fuck up about it? Please. I'm begging you, God. Amen. I'm begging you. Please, just 1. Please. And let him get a goal to make it worse. I don't care. Rub it in.
Oh, yeah. Face. By the way,
let him get a goal.
By the way, 2-1, Weegar has an unbelievable opportunity to like wipe out the mistake that he made by going top shelf and freaking tying the game.
The puck hit his stick, and I'm screaming, "Prove me wrong, Weegar! Prove me wrong!" I'm screaming at him, "Please, prove me wrong." Guys, look, I know that we talk about Weegar a lot, and I know you guys probably, it's not personal. I swear it's not. It's just we thought we got rid of Yandel and Matheson. We thought, this is not a new problem. It's just a new culprit. And so that's really all it is just disbelief that all the changes that we've made, and we still basically got the one same weak link problem, which is stupid defensive mistakes in the playoffs at the wrong time. And I just don't know if Stu and I's brains can handle 2 more games like this.
Well, I did find out later on in the game, after the game, Weegar was 4th amongst defensemen in giveaways this year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just another food for thought there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
all right. Well, guys,
Monday's a new game. Let's
Yep.
Let's hope we can turn it around. Like you said, we even up the series, and it's a best of 3. So
that's all we can.
That's all we can hope for.
Yep. So we appreciate all the support, guys. Lots of new subscribers. Really appreciate that. I will
love the comments.
Yep.
Love the comments.
Yep. Even the ones that disagree, that's fine. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about Weegar too. I really am. Please make it stop. Please make it stop. I'm not even kidding. I'll be back tonight with the Toronto Tampa as long as my health, as long as I wake up from my nap and this head congestion can go away. But we'll be back Monday, and let's just let everybody pray. That's what we got. This Stu is not wrong there. Everybody pray.